This is the first time La Crosse has ever issued a shelter-in-place warning. It was lifted at about 8:30 this morning.
Throughout the process, authorities carefully monitored air quality at the fire scene and 9 blocks away. News 8's Kyle Dimke joins us now in our newsroom with more on that part of the story. Kyle.
Well, not only was there a concern of the air quality, but Midwest Fuels is right on the Black River, so staff and emergency crews have to make sure there was no runoff. The company has emergency plans in place to stop any sort of pollution, and that preparation is paying off.
In any kind of hazardous materials situation, La Crosse County Emergency Management Coordinator Keith Butler needs to get the word out.
There are certain entities that should be notified about that circumstance just in case additional response is needed or if there's environmental impact to that.
Butler immediately called the Wisconsin DNR and the state's Emergency Management Office after learning of the explosion.
And from their network, that information spread out to many other partners.
Butler says the oily black smoke from the fire caused some air quality concerns. But when the fire was put out, he says there was nothing to fear.
Now that it's extinguished, there's no longer any fumes being emitted into the air, so I think that the problem is gone now.
Because the company is located on the river, Butler says the DNR worried about water contamination. But during a press conference, company representatives said there was virtually no spill.
The only contamination we had was basically from the fire hoses in the water that had some runoff with oil residue.
Midwest Industrial Fuels says it has safeguards in place, such as berms around these tanks to prevent from any sort of runoff.
Any runoff, any ground contamination is contained on site and being cleaned up as we speak.
Now, Midwest Fuels says there's no reason for the public to be concerned about their health. The company says while the fire was burning, people nearby may have experienced a slight headache or sore throat, but it has no reason to believe exposure to the smoke should cause any health issues. If you do have any questions, the company encourages you to call their office.
Thanks a lot, Kyle. Midwest Fuels has spent a good part of the day cleaning up excess water on site. It is also working with an environmental cleanup crew to make sure any hazardous materials will be taken care of properly.